My beloved, you didn't stumble upon this message by chance. This is your moment, your divine appointment with the words your heart has been longing to hear. I know the weight you carry, the unanswered questions, and the silent battles. Today you are here because you were meant to hear this. What if the breakthrough you've been waiting for is right here within these words? Don't scroll past. Don't let this be another fleeting moment. Stay with me, for I have prepared something extraordinary for you. This message isn't for everyone. It's for the chosen, the seekers, the ones bold enough to listen with their hearts wide open. Are you ready to receive the clarity, the peace, and the promise I have for you? Imagine leaving this moment renewed, your burdens lighter, and your spirit uplifted. What if everything you've prayed for is closer than you think, and this is the key to unlocking it? Stay until the end, my child, and let my words breathe life into your weary soul. Let this be the day your spirit finds rest, your questions find answers, and your hope is restored. I'm here speaking directly to you. Are you listening? Then let's begin this journey together. My beloved child, this season is not just a turning of the calendar, it is a time of transformation, renewal, and victory. I know the battles you have faced, the struggles that have left you weary, and the questions that have lingered in your heart. But hear me clearly, this is your season of breakthrough. December is not a month of endings. It is a month of divine victories. I am with you and I am leading you toward triumph. Victory begins with faith. My child, faith is not about seeing the end result. It is about trusting in my promises even when the path is unclear. Remember my words, this is the victory that has overcome the world, our faith. These words are not just encouragement, they are a declaration of power. When you walk in faith, you align yourself with my strength and nothing can stand against you. Trust that I am fighting for you and that your victory is already secured in me. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I claim victory when my circumstances feel so heavy? My child, victory is not about avoiding struggles. It is about overcoming them through my power. Think of David facing Goliath. The giant seemed insurmountable, but David's faith in me turned the impossible into a triumph. My child, the same power that guided David is with you now. Trust that I am greater than any challenge you face, and walk boldly in the confidence of my promises. Let me remind you of my promise. No weapon formed against you will prevail, and you will refute every tongue that accuses you. This is the heritage of the servants of the Lord. These words are not just for ancient times. They are for you. My child, I have equipped you with everything you need to stand firm and claim the victory I have prepared for you. Trust that I am your shield, your refuge, and your strength. Imagine a runner approaching the finish line after a long and grueling race. The journey has been difficult, but the victory waiting at the end makes every step worthwhile. My child, you are that runner and I am your strength. The race you are running is not in vain, and the victory ahead is greater than you can imagine. Trust that I am with you every step of the way, guiding you toward the triumph I have planned. Victory also requires perseverance. My child, I know how hard it is to keep going when the road feels long and the obstacles seem endless. But remember my words, let us not become weary in doing good, for at the proper time we will reap a harvest if we do not give up. Perseverance is not about never feeling tired. It is about leaning on me when you do. Trust that as you remain steadfast, I will strengthen you and lead you to the harvest I have promised. Let me give you a practical way to embrace victory in this season. Each day, declare my promises over your life. I am more than a conqueror through Christ who loves me. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? Write these truths down, carry them with you, and speak them aloud when doubts arise. My child, my word is your weapon, and it will empower you to stand firm in faith and claim the victory I have secured for you. You may feel that victory is out of reach, but let me assure you, it is closer than you think. Think of the Israelites standing before the walls of Jericho. The walls seemed unmovable, but their faith and obedience brought them tumbling down. My child, the walls in your life are not too great for me. Trust that as you walk in faith and obedience, I will bring you into the fullness of victory. As you step into this season, let my spirit guide you in claiming the triumph I have prepared. My child, this is not a time to shrink back in fear. It is a time to move forward in faith. Trust that I am leading you, strengthening you, and equipping you for every challenge. The victory ahead is not just for you, it is a testimony of my power and love to the world around you. Today, I am calling you to embrace the victory I have declared over your life. My child, you were not created to live in defeat or despair. You were created to walk in the fullness of my love, to overcome every challenge, and to reflect my glory. Trust that I am with you and step boldly into the triumph I have prepared. You are my beloved, and in me your victory is secure. My beloved child, I know the waiting has not been easy. You've prayed, hoped, and held on, yet the answers you long for still seem far away. But let me reassure you, I am not ignoring your cries, nor have I forgotten my promises to you. My timing is perfect even when it feels delayed. Today, I invite you to trust in my timing and find peace in the waiting, knowing that I am working all things together for your good. Waiting is not a punishment, it is a season of preparation. My child, think of a farmer planting seeds in the ground. Though nothing seems to happen at first, beneath the surface, roots are growing strong, preparing for the day when the seeds will break through the soil and bear fruit. In the same way, I am at work in your life, strengthening your foundation, building your faith, and aligning circumstances for the blessings I have prepared. Trust that the waiting has a purpose. You may wonder, but Lord, why does it take so long? Can't you move faster? My child, my plans for you are intricate and perfect. Rushing would not bring you the best I have to offer. Think of Joseph, who waited years in prison before rising to power in Egypt, or David, who was anointed as king but spent years in the wilderness before taking the throne. Their waiting was not a delay but a process of preparation. Trust that I am preparing you as well. Let me remind you of my promise. Those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. These words are not just an encouragement. They are a declaration of what I will do in your life. My child, as you wait on me, I will renew your strength and give you the endurance to persevere. Trust that the waiting is not wasted. It is preparing you for something greater. Imagine a sculptor chiseling away at a block of marble. Each strike of the chisel is intentional, shaping the stone into a masterpiece. My child, you are that masterpiece and I am the sculptor. The waiting is my way of shaping you, removing what does not belong, and refining you into the person I created you to be. Trust that every moment of waiting is part of my plan to bring beauty and purpose into your life. Trusting my timing also requires surrender. My child, I know how hard it is to release control, to let go of your own timeline and trust in mine. But surrender is not about giving up. It is about giving in to my greater plan. Remember my words, be still and know that I am God. In the stillness, you will find my peace and my presence, reassuring you that I am in control. Trust that my timing is not a delay but a display of my wisdom and love. Let me give you a practical way to trust my timing. Each day, bring your hopes and desires to me in prayer. Say, Lord, I trust your plan and your timing. Help me to wait with patience and faith. When impatience arises, combat it with my promises. The Lord is my portion. Therefore, I will wait for him. Write these words down, carry them with you, and let them anchor your heart in hope. My child, my promises are a source of strength in the waiting. You may feel weary in the waiting, but let me assure you, I have not forgotten you. Think of a potter preparing clay on the wheel. The process takes time, but the end result is a vessel of beauty and purpose. In the same way, I am preparing blessings for you that are worth the wait. Trust that the waiting will lead to a season of joy, abundance, and fulfillment. You are not forgotten. You are being prepared. As you wait, let my spirit guide you in how to use this season well. Perhaps this is a time to deepen your relationship with me, to grow in areas where I am calling you to be strengthened, or to serve others with the gifts I have given you. My child, the waiting is not passive. It is an active faith, trusting that every moment is leading you closer to the fulfillment of my promises. Today, I am inviting you to release the frustration and anxiety that often accompany waiting. Trust that I am working even when you cannot see it. My child, my timing is perfect and my plans for you are good. Rest in the assurance that I am with you in the waiting, preparing you for the blessings that are to come. You are my beloved, and I will fulfill every promise I have made to you, in my time and for my glory. My beloved child, I know the trials you are facing and the heaviness that weighs on your heart. The world around you may feel uncertain, and the challenges before you may seem overwhelming. But I want you to know this: you are not alone and you do not need to face these struggles in your own strength. My power is made perfect in your weakness, and my grace is sufficient for you. Today I am calling you to lean on me and find strength in my presence. Strength begins with surrender. My child, I see how hard you try to carry your burdens, to solve every problem, and to endure every storm on your own. But I am inviting you to lay those burdens at my feet. Remember my words: come to me, all who are weary and burdened, and I will give you rest. These are not just words of comfort, they are a promise. Trust that when you surrender your struggles to me, I will give you the strength to overcome. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I be strong when I feel so weak? My child, strength is not about being unshaken by life's challenges. It is about standing firm in my power. Think of Paul, who declared, I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. His strength was not his own, it came from me. In the same way, my strength is available to you. Trust that no matter how weak you feel, I am your source of unshakable strength. Let me remind you of my promise. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him and he helps me. These words are not just encouragement, they are a declaration of my faithfulness. My child, when you trust in me, I become your shield against the trials of life and your source of help in every situation. Lean into my presence and let my strength carry you through even the darkest valleys. Imagine a tree standing firm during a storm. Its branches sway in the wind, but its roots hold it steady. My child, you are like that tree and I am your roots. The deeper you are grounded in me, the stronger you will stand, no matter how fierce the storm. Trust that I am holding you steady and that my strength is greater than any challenge you face. Finding strength in me also means finding peace in my presence. My child, I know how the worries of life can cloud your mind and drain your energy. But remember my words: be still and know that I am God. When you take time to be still before me, I will fill you with my peace, renew your spirit, and give you the clarity to move forward. Trust that I am with you, calming the storms within you and giving you the strength to endure. Let me give you a practical way to find strength in me each day. Begin your morning with a prayer of dependence. Lord, I cannot face this day on my own. Be my strength, my guide, and my refuge. When challenges arise, pause and declare my promises over yourself. The Lord is my refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. My child, my word is your greatest source of strength. Let it be your anchor in times of uncertainty. You may feel that your struggles are too great, but let me remind you, nothing is too great for me. Think of David, who faced Goliath with nothing but a sling and a stone. His strength did not come from his own abilities but from his faith in me. My child, the same power that was with David is with you now. Trust that I will give you the strength to face every challenge, no matter how impossible it seems. As you find strength in me, let it transform the way you face life's difficulties. My child, challenges are not meant to defeat you. They are opportunities to grow closer to me and to discover the depth of my love and power. Trust that I am using every trial to strengthen your faith, build your character, and prepare you for the blessings I have in store. Today, I am inviting you to release the burdens you've been carrying and to rest in my strength. My child, you were not created to walk this journey alone. You were created to walk with me, trusting that my power is sufficient for every weakness. Let go of the fear that you are not enough, and embrace the truth that I am more than enough for you. You are my beloved, and in me, you will find the strength to overcome. My beloved child, I see the uncertainty that surrounds you, the unanswered questions, the shifting circumstances, and the fears that whisper, "What if?" But I am here to remind you that faith is not about seeing the whole path. It is about trusting me step by step. Today I am calling you to walk in faith, to trust that I am guiding you, and to know that even in the unknown, I am with you, working all things together for your good. Faith begins with trust. My child, trust is not built on understanding every detail. It is built on knowing who I am. Remember my words, for we live by faith, not by sight. These are not just instructions. They are an invitation to let go of the need to control and to rest in my sovereignty. Trust that even when you cannot see what lies ahead, I am leading you toward a future filled with hope and promise. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I walk in faith when I feel so unsure? My child, you are not walking alone. Imagine a shepherd leading their sheep through a valley. The sheep do not understand the path, but they trust the voice of the shepherd. I am your shepherd, and I am guiding you even in the darkest valleys. Trust my voice and know that I am leading you toward green pastures and still waters. Let me remind you of my promise. I will instruct you and teach you in the way you should go. I will counsel you with my loving eye on you. These words are not just a reassurance. They are a declaration of my commitment to you. My child, I see the entire tapestry of your life from beginning to end, and every thread is woven with purpose. Trust that I am working behind the scenes, aligning circumstances for your good. Imagine a lantern lighting the way in the darkness. The lantern does not reveal the entire path, but it provides enough light for the next step. My child, my word is your lantern. It is a lamp to your feet and a light to your path. You may not see the entire journey, but my word will guide you step by step as you walk in faith. Trust that as you take each step, I am with you, leading you closer to the promises I have made. Walking in faith also means surrendering your fears. My child, I know how the unknown can stir anxiety and doubt, but remember my words. Do not be afraid, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. These are not just words of comfort. They are a command to release your fears and trust in my protection. Let me give you a practical way to walk in faith. Each morning, begin your day with a prayer of trust. Lord, I don't know what today holds, but I know you hold it. Lead me, guide me, and help me to trust you with every step. When doubts arise, combat them with my promises. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? My child, these declarations of faith will anchor your heart in my truth and keep you focused on me. You may feel that your faith is too small, but let me remind you, even a mustard seed of faith can move mountains. Think of Peter stepping out of the boat onto the water. His faith was not perfect, yet as long as his eyes were on me, he walked above the waves. My child, I am calling you to take that first step, trusting that I will sustain you. Even when your faith feels weak, my strength will carry you. As you walk in faith, let it transform the way you face uncertainty. My child, the unknown is not something to fear. It is an opportunity to rely on me and to see my faithfulness in action. Trust that I am using every moment of uncertainty to deepen your faith, strengthen your character, and draw you closer to me. The journey ahead is not just about the destination. It is about the relationship we build along the way. Today, I am inviting you to take the first step of faith, even if the path ahead is unclear. My child, you were not created to live in fear or doubt. You were created to walk with confidence in my love, trusting that I am leading you every step of the way. Let go of the need to have all the answers and embrace the truth that I am with you. You are my beloved, and in me, you will find the courage to walk boldly into the unknown. My beloved child, I see the storms that rage around you and the restlessness that stirs within your heart. Life may feel chaotic, with worries pulling you in every direction, but I want you to know this. My presence brings peace. Today I am inviting you to step into the calm I offer, a peace that surpasses all understanding, a rest that quiets your soul. You were not meant to live in constant turmoil. You were created to dwell in my peace. Peace begins with my presence. My child, you may search for peace in many places, in solutions, in plans, or even in people. But true peace can only be found in me. Remember my promise. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. These words are a reminder that peace is not the absence of conflict but the presence of trust. When you fix your eyes on me, I will calm the storms within you. You may ask, but Lord, how can I feel peace when my circumstances are so overwhelming? My child, peace is not about the absence of challenges. It is about my presence in the midst of them. Think of the disciples in the boat, terrified by the storm. They cried out to me, and with a single command, I calmed the wind and waves. My child, I am still speaking peace into storms today. Call out to me, and I will quiet the chaos in your heart. Let me remind you of my promise. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. These words are not just advice, they are a pathway to peace. My child, when you bring your worries to me in prayer, I exchange them for my peace, a peace that guards your heart and mind like a fortress. Imagine a bird resting on a branch during a storm. The winds howl and the rain pours, but the bird remains calm because it trusts the strength of the branch. My child, I am your branch. No matter how fierce the storm, you can rest in the assurance that I am holding you. Trust that my peace is greater than any challenge you face and that I am your refuge in every trial. Discovering peace in my presence also requires letting go of control. My child, I know how hard it is to release your grip on the things you care about most, to stop striving and start trusting. But remember my words, be still and know that I am God. In the stillness you will find my peace, my guidance, and my reassurance. Trust that I am in control, working all things together for your good. Let me give you a practical way to experience my peace. Each day, set aside time to be still before me. Find a quiet space where you can pray, meditate on my word, and listen for my voice. When anxious thoughts arise, speak my promises aloud. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. My child, these moments of connection with me will become an anchor for your soul, grounding you in my peace no matter what storms arise. You may feel that peace is out of reach, especially in seasons of pain or uncertainty. But let me remind you, my peace is not fragile. It is not dependent on your circumstances. It is rooted in my character. Think of Paul and Silas, who sang praises while imprisoned. Their chains could not bind their hearts because their peace came from me. My child, I am inviting you to experience that same unshakable peace, no matter what you are facing. As you discover my peace, let it overflow into the lives of those around you. My child, the world is filled with people searching for the calm that only I can provide. When you live in my peace, you become a light to others, reflecting my love and offering hope. Trust that as you rest in me, I will use your life to bring peace to those who need it most. Today, I am calling you to step into the peace I offer. My child, you were not created to live in constant fear or anxiety. You were created to dwell in the fullness of my love, trusting that I am with you in every moment. Let go of the worries that weigh you down, and embrace the truth that I am your refuge. You are my beloved, and in my presence, you will find the peace your soul longs for. My beloved child, I see the storms that rage around you and the restlessness that stirs within your heart. Life may feel chaotic, with worries pulling you in every direction, but I want you to know this: my presence brings peace. Today I am inviting you to step into the calm I offer, a peace that surpasses all understanding, a rest that quiets your soul. You were not meant to live in constant turmoil. You were created to dwell in my peace. Peace begins with my presence. My child, you may search for peace in many places, in solutions, in plans, or even in people. But true peace can only be found in me. Remember my promise. You will keep in perfect peace those whose minds are steadfast because they trust in you. These words are a reminder that peace is not the absence of conflict but the presence of trust. When you fix your eyes on me, I will calm the storms within you. You may ask, but Lord, how can I feel peace when my circumstances are so overwhelming? My child, peace is not about the absence of challenges. It is about my presence in the midst of them. Think of the disciples in the boat, terrified by the storm. They cried out to me, and with a single command, I calmed the wind and waves. My child, I am still speaking peace into storms today. Call out to me, and I will quiet the chaos in your heart. Let me remind you of my promise. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. These words are not just advice, they are a pathway to peace. My child, when you bring your worries to me in prayer, I exchange them for my peace, a peace that guards your heart and mind like a fortress. Imagine a bird resting on a branch during a storm. The winds howl and the rain pours, but the bird remains calm because it trusts the strength of the branch. My child, I am your branch. No matter how fierce the storm, you can rest in the assurance that I am holding you. Trust that my peace is greater than any challenge you face and that I am your refuge in every trial. Discovering peace in my presence also requires letting go of control. My child, I know how hard it is to release your grip on the things you care about most, to stop striving and start trusting. But remember my words, be still and know that I am God. In the stillness you will find my peace, my guidance, and my reassurance. Trust that I am in control, working all things together for your good. Let me give you a practical way to experience my peace. Each day, set aside time to be still before me. Find a quiet space where you can pray, meditate on my word, and listen for my voice. When anxious thoughts arise, speak my promises aloud. The Lord is my shepherd, I lack nothing. My child, these moments of connection with me will become an anchor for your soul, grounding you in my peace no matter what storms arise. You may feel that peace is out of reach, especially in seasons of pain or uncertainty. But let me remind you, my peace is not fragile. It is not dependent on your circumstances. It is rooted in my character. Think of Paul and Silas, who sang praises while imprisoned. Their chains could not bind their hearts because their peace came from me. My child, I am inviting you to experience that same unshakable peace, no matter what you are facing. As you discover my peace, let it overflow into the lives of those around you. My child, the world is filled with people searching for the calm that only I can provide. When you live in my peace, you become a light to others, reflecting my love and offering hope. Trust that as you rest in me, I will use your life to bring peace to those who need it most. Today, I am calling you to step into the peace I offer. My child, you were not created to live in constant fear or anxiety. You were created to dwell in the fullness of my love, trusting that I am with you in every moment. Let go of the worries that weigh you down, and embrace the truth that I am your refuge. You are my beloved, and in my presence, you will find the peace your soul longs for. My beloved child, I see the fear that tries to take hold of your heart, the doubts that creep in, the worries about what lies ahead, and the anxieties that whisper lies into your soul. But hear me clearly, fear is not your master, for I am with you. My power is greater than any fear you face, and my love casts out all fear. Today, I am inviting you to overcome fear by placing your trust in me, allowing my strength to replace your weakness, and walking boldly in the confidence of my promises. Fear is a natural response to the unknown, but my child, I am the God who knows all things. Remember my words, do not fear, for I am with you. Do not be dismayed, for I am your God. I will strengthen you and help you. I will uphold you with my righteous right hand. These words are not just a comfort. They are a command to release your fear and to trust in my unfailing presence. I am your refuge and strength, an ever-present help in trouble. You may ask, but Lord, how can I overcome fear when it feels so overwhelming? My child, fear loses its power when you focus on me. Think of Peter stepping out of the boat onto the water. As long as his eyes were on me, he walked above the waves. But when he focused on the storm, fear overtook him and he began to sink. My child, I am calling you to keep your eyes on me, to trust that I am greater than the storm, and to know that I will not let you fall. Let me remind you of my promise. Even though I walk through the darkest valley, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. These words are a declaration of my faithfulness in your life. My child, no valley is too dark, no challenge too great, and no fear too strong for my love to overcome. Trust that I am walking with you, guiding you and protecting you every step of the way. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall amidst a raging storm. The winds howl and the waves crash, but the light shines unwavering, guiding ships safely to shore. My child, I am your lighthouse. No matter how fierce the storm, my light will guide you through. Fear may try to cloud your vision, but trust that my light is always shining, showing you the way forward. Overcoming fear also requires embracing my truth. My child, fear often stems from lies. Lies that tell you you're not enough, that you're alone, or that the challenges you face are too great. But I am the God of truth, and my truth sets you free. When fear whispers lies into your heart, counter them with my promises. The Lord is my light and my salvation. Whom shall I fear? The Lord is the stronghold of my life. Of whom shall I be afraid? Let my truth be your weapon against fear. Let me give you a practical way to overcome fear. Each time fear arises, bring it to me in prayer. Say, Lord, I feel afraid, but I trust you. Help me to walk in faith, not in fear. Then declare my promises over yourself. I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. My child, these moments of surrender will strengthen your faith and remind you that you are not facing fear alone. You may feel that your fear is too great to conquer, but let me remind you, my power is greater. Think of David facing Goliath. The giant seemed insurmountable, but David's faith in me gave him the courage to overcome. My child, the same power that was with David is with you now. Trust that I will give you the strength to face every challenge, no matter how impossible it seems. As you overcome fear, let my spirit guide you into a life of boldness and confidence. My child, you were not created to live in the shadows of fear. You were created to walk in the light of my love, trusting that I am your refuge and your strength. Let go of the fears that hold you back and step boldly into the purpose I have for you. Today I am calling you to release the grip of fear and to embrace the freedom of faith. My child, fear is not your master, I am. Trust that I am with you, empowering you to overcome every obstacle and to live with courage and peace. You are my beloved, and in me you are more than a conqueror. My beloved child, I see the weight you carry, the regrets of yesterday, the burdens of today, and the uncertainties of tomorrow. But hear me now, my grace is sufficient for you. You do not need to strive to earn it, for my grace is my gift to you, freely given out of my love. Today I am inviting you to live in the fullness of my grace, to let it renew your spirit, and to walk in the freedom it provides. Grace is not something you must work for, it is something you receive. My child, remember my words, for it is by grace you have been saved through faith, and this is not from yourselves, it is the gift of God. These words are a reminder that your worth is not determined by your works but by my love. Trust that my grace covers every failure, every mistake, and every weakness. You are loved not because of what you do but because of who I am. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I accept your grace when I feel so unworthy? My child, grace is not about your worthiness, it is about my love. Think of the prodigal son, who returned home broken and ashamed, yet was met with open arms and celebration. My child, I am that father. No matter how far you feel you've strayed, my grace is sufficient to welcome you back. Trust that my love for you is unchanging and my grace is never ending. Let me remind you of my promise. My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness. These words are not just a comfort, they are a declaration of my power. My child, your weaknesses do not disqualify you. They invite my strength into your life. When you bring your struggles to me, I exchange them for my peace, my power, and my grace. Trust that my grace is more than enough for every moment. Imagine a river flowing freely, bringing life to everything it touches. The river does not stop to question whether it is worthy of its journey. It simply flows. My child, my grace is like that river. It flows into your life, bringing renewal, hope, and restoration. Trust that my grace is not something you must earn. It is something you simply receive. Receiving my grace also means extending it to yourself and others. My child, I know how hard it is to let go of guilt, to forgive yourself, and to believe that you are truly free. But if I, the Creator of the universe, have forgiven you, why do you hold on to what I have already let go? Let my grace set you free. And as you experience my grace, let it flow through you to others. Forgive as I have forgiven you, love as I have loved you. Let me give you a practical way to live in my grace. Each morning, begin your day with a declaration. Lord, I am forgiven, I am loved, and your grace is sufficient for me. When guilt or shame tries to creep in, combat it with my truth. Therefore, there is now no condemnation for those who are in Christ Jesus. My child, these daily reminders of my grace will renew your spirit and strengthen your faith. You may feel that grace is too good to be true, but let me remind you, it is my gift to you. Think of the thief on the cross, who, in his final moments, cried out to my Son and received the promise of paradise. He had no time to earn forgiveness, yet my grace was sufficient for him. My child, my grace is not based on what you do, it is based on who I am. Trust that my grace is always enough for you. As you receive my grace, let it transform the way you live. My child, grace is not a license to remain the same. It is the power to become who I created you to be. When you walk in my grace, you reflect my love to the world, showing others what it means to be forgiven, redeemed, and set free. Trust that my grace will empower you to live with purpose, joy, and peace. Today I am calling you to embrace my grace fully. My child, you were not created to carry the weight of guilt, shame, or striving. You were created to walk in the freedom of my love, trusting that my grace is sufficient for every moment. Let go of the burdens that weigh you down and step into the fullness of my grace. You are my beloved, and in me you are free. My beloved child, I see the moments when hope feels distant, when the weight of your burden seems too heavy and the future feels uncertain. But hear me clearly, my promises are unshakable, and they are your anchor in every storm. Today I am calling you to live in the hope that comes from trusting in my word, knowing that I am faithful to fulfill every promise I have made to you. Hope begins with my promises. My child, I have declared my plans for you, plans to prosper you, to give you hope, and to secure your future. Remember my words, for no matter how many promises God has made, they are yes in Christ. And so through him that amen is spoken by us to the glory of God. These words are a declaration of my faithfulness. Trust that my promises are not empty, they are alive, active, and at work in your life. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I hold on to hope when my circumstances seem hopeless? My child, hope is not about ignoring your challenges. It is about trusting me in the midst of them. Think of Abraham, who hoped against all hope and trusted my promise of a son, even when it seemed impossible. My child, I am the God of the impossible. Trust that my promises are greater than your circumstances and that I am working in ways you cannot yet see. Let me remind you of my promise. Those who hope in the Lord will renew their strength. They will soar on wings like eagles. They will run and not grow weary. They will walk and not be faint. These words are not just encouragement. They are a declaration of what I will do in your life. My child, when you place your hope in me, I will renew your strength, lift your spirit, and empower you to move forward with confidence. Imagine a lighthouse standing tall on a rocky shore, It's like cutting through the darkness and guiding ships safely to harbor. My child, my promises are your lighthouse. They guide you through the storms of life, illuminating the path ahead and reminding you that I am leading you to safety. Trust that no matter how dark the night, my promises will light your way. Living in hope also means waiting with expectancy. My child, I know how hard it is to wait, to hold on to hope when answers seem delayed. But remember my words, the Lord is good to those whose hope is in Him, to the one who seeks Him. Waiting is not a sign of inaction, it is a declaration of trust. Trust that my timing is perfect and that I am preparing blessings for you that are worth the wait. Let me give you a practical way to live in hope. Each day, remind yourself of my promises. Write them down, speak them aloud, and carry them with you. When doubt arises, combat it with my truth. The Lord is faithful to all His promises and loving toward all He has made. My child, my word is your foundation, and it will strengthen your hope, even in the most uncertain moments. You may feel that hope is slipping away, but let me remind you, I am the God who restores. Think of Job, who lost everything yet held on to hope in my goodness. In the end, I restored him beyond what he had imagined. My child, the same hope that sustained Job is available to you. Trust that I am working to bring restoration, healing, and fulfillment in my perfect timing. As you live in hope, let it transform the way you see your life. My child, hope is not wishful thinking. It is the confident expectation that I am who I say I am and that I will do what I have promised. When you live with hope, you reflect my faithfulness to the world and inspire others to seek me. Trust that your hope in me is a light that shines in the darkness, pointing others toward my love. Today I am inviting you to step into the hope I have promised. My child, you were not created to live in despair or doubt. You were created to walk in the assurance of my promises, trusting that I am with you in every moment. Let go of the fears that cloud your vision and embrace the hope that comes from knowing I am faithful. You are my beloved, and in me your hope is secure. My beloved child, I see the longing in your heart, the desire to feel truly loved, deeply known, and fully accepted. You may have searched for this love in people, achievements, or possessions, only to find that nothing fully satisfies. But I want you to know this: my love for you is unconditional, unchanging, and infinite. Today I am calling you to open your heart to my love and allow it to transform every part of your life. Love begins with me. My child, I am not only the creator of love, I am love itself. Remember my words, we love because He first loved us. These words are a reminder that my love is the source of all true love. Trust that my love for you is not based on what you do or how well you perform. It is based on who I am and my unchanging nature. You are my beloved, and nothing can separate you from my love. You may wonder, but Lord, how can you love me when I feel so unworthy? My child, my love is not earned, it is freely given. Think of the woman caught in sin, brought before my Son. She expected judgment, but instead she received grace and forgiveness. My child, I see you, not just your flaws and failures, but the beauty I created within you. Trust that my love covers every imperfection and that I delight in you just as you are. Let me remind you of my promise, for I am convinced that neither death nor life, neither angels nor demons, neither the present nor the future, nor any powers, neither height nor depth, nor anything else in all creation, will be able to separate us from the love of God that is in Christ Jesus our Lord. These words are not just comforting. They are a declaration of my unwavering commitment to you. Trust that my love is constant, even in your darkest moments. Imagine a river flowing through a desert, bringing life to everything it touches. My child, my love is like that river. It flows into the dry and barren places of your life, bringing renewal, hope, and restoration. Trust that no matter how empty you may feel, my love is sufficient to fill every void and to bring new life where there once was none. Letting my love transform your life also means letting go of fear. My child, I know how fear can hold you back. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, fear of not being enough. But remember my words, there is no fear in love. but perfect love drives out fear. When you allow my love to fill your heart, it pushes out fear and replaces it with confidence, peace, and joy. Trust that my love is greater than any fear you face. Let me give you a practical way to embrace my love each day. Start your morning by speaking my promises over yourself. I am loved by God. I am chosen. I am His beloved child. Spend time in my word, where you will find countless reminders of my love for you. My child, my love is not just a feeling. It is a truth that can anchor your soul and guide your life. Return to it daily and let it renew your spirit. You may feel that your heart is too broken to receive my love, but let me remind you, I am the God who heals. Think of the leper who came to my son, knowing his brokenness but trusting in my mercy. My child, I am reaching out to you with the same compassion. Trust that my love is strong enough to heal every wound, to restore every broken piece, and to make you whole again. As you let my love transform you, let it overflow into the lives of others. My child, the world is filled with people searching for the love I have already given you. When you live in my love, you become a reflection of my heart, drawing others closer to me. Trust that as you share my love with the world, you will see it multiply in your own life. Today, I am inviting you to let go of the barriers that keep you from fully experiencing my love. My child, you were not created to live in fear, shame, or striving. You were created to live in the fullness of my love, to walk in freedom and confidence, and to share my love with others. Trust that I am with you, transforming your life through the power of my love. You are my beloved, and in my love, you will find everything you need. My beloved child, I see the burdens you carry, the worries that weigh on your heart, and the fears that keep you awake at night. I know the questions that fill your mind, the uncertainties that leave you feeling overwhelmed, and the desire to control the outcomes you cannot predict. But hear me now, you were not created to carry these burdens alone. Today, I am inviting you to surrender your worries to me and trust that I am working all things together for your good. Surrender begins with trust. My child, remember my words, cast all your anxiety on Him because He cares for you. These are not just comforting words, they are a command and a promise. Trust that I care deeply for you and that my love for you is greater than any problem you face. When you lay your worries at my feet, you make room for my peace to fill your heart. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I let go when the situation feels so out of control? My child, surrender is not about giving up. It is about giving in to my sovereignty. Think of the Israelites standing before the Red Sea, trapped between the waters and Pharaoh's army. They had no way forward until they trusted my power to part the waters. My child, I am the same God who made a way for them, and I will make a way for you. Trust that surrendering your worries to me opens the door for my miracles. Let me remind you of my promise. Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God. And the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. These words are not just guidance. They are an invitation to trade your anxiety for my peace. My child, when you bring your worries to me in prayer, I will guard your heart and mind with my unshakable peace. Imagine a traveler carrying a heavy load, struggling to move forward under the weight of their burdens. Then someone comes alongside them and lifts the load, allowing the traveler to walk freely. My child, I am the one lifting your burdens. You do not need to carry them alone. Trust that when you release your worries to me, I will sustain you and give you the strength to move forward. Surrendering your worries also means letting go of the need to control. My child, I know how tempting it is to hold tightly to the things you care about most, to try to solve every problem and plan every detail. But remember my words, be still and know that I am God. In the stillness, you will find my presence, my guidance, and my assurance that I am in control. Trust that my plans for you are good and that I am working behind the scenes in ways you cannot yet see. Let me give you a practical way to surrender your worries. Each day, take a moment to write down the things that weigh on your heart. Then pray over them, saying, Lord, I give these to you. I trust that you are in control and that you are working for my good. My child, this act of surrender will release the grip of anxiety and open your heart to my peace. You may feel that your worries are too great, but let me remind you, nothing is too great for me. Think of Martha, who was consumed with worry and distraction, yet my son reminded her to choose what is better, to sit at my feet and trust in my presence. My child, I am calling you to do the same. Let go of the distractions that steal your peace, and trust that I am handling what you cannot. As you surrender your worries to me, let it transform the way you face life's challenges. My child, surrender is not a one-time act. It is a daily choice to trust me with every aspect of your life. Trust that as you release your burdens, I will fill you with my peace, my strength, and my hope. You are not alone in this journey. I am with you every step of the way. Today, I am inviting you to lay down the burdens you were never meant to carry. My child, you were not created to live in worry or fear. You were created to walk in freedom, trusting that I am in control and that I am working for your good. Let go of the worries that weigh you down and embrace the peace that comes from surrendering to me. You are my beloved, and in me, you will find rest for your soul. My beloved child, I see the desires in your heart to do what is right, to follow my voice, and to live a life that pleases me. But I also see the doubts and hesitations that try to hold you back, the fears of inadequacy, the uncertainties of where obedience will lead, and the temptations to take the easier path. Today, I am inviting you to trust me completely and to walk in obedience to my call, knowing that I am with you every step of the way. Obedience begins with surrender. My child, obedience is not about perfection. It is about trusting my plan over your own. Remember my words, if you are willing and obedient, you will eat the good things of the land. These are not just instructions, they are promises. Trust that as you walk in obedience, you will experience the fullness of my blessings and the joy of living in alignment with my will. You may wonder, but Lord, how can I obey when I feel so unsure of what you are asking? My child, obedience is not about understanding every detail. It is about taking the next step in faith. Think of Abraham, who obeyed my call to leave his home without knowing where I was leading him. His faith opened the door for my promises to unfold. My child, I am calling you to take that same step of faith, trusting that I am guiding you toward my purpose. Let me remind you of my promise. Whether you turn to the right or to the left, your ears will hear a voice behind you saying, "This is the way, walk in it." These words are a reminder that I am not a distant God. I am intimately involved in your life, guiding you and directing your path. Trust that as you walk in obedience, I will reveal my plans for you in my perfect timing. Imagine a ship navigating the ocean by the light of the stars. The sailors cannot see their destination, but they trust the guidance of the stars to lead them safely. My child, I am your guiding light. You may not see the whole journey, but trust that I am directing your steps and leading you to where you need to be. Obedience is not about certainty, it is about trust. Walking in obedience also means letting go of fear. My child, I know how intimidating it can be to step out in faith, especially when the path ahead seems unclear or the challenges feel overwhelming. But remember my words, be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid, do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. These are not just words of encouragement, they are a command to trust that I am with you, equipping you for everything I have called you to do. Let me give you a practical way to walk in obedience. Each day, spend time in prayer, asking me to reveal the next step I am calling you to take. Then, write it down and commit to taking action, no matter how small the step may seem. My child, obedience often begins with simple acts of faithfulness, serving, forgiving, or speaking words of encouragement. Trust that these small steps are part of my greater plan for your life. You may feel that your obedience is too insignificant to matter, but let me remind you, I use even the smallest acts of faith to accomplish great things. Think of the boy who offered his 5 loaves and 2 fish. It seemed like so little, yet my son used it to feed thousands. My child, trust that your obedience, no matter how small, is significant in my kingdom. I will multiply your faithfulness to bring blessings to you and to those around you. As you walk in obedience, let it deepen your relationship with me. My child, obedience is not just about following rules. It is about drawing closer to my heart and aligning your life with my will. Trust that as you obey my call, you will experience my presence in ways you never imagined, and your faith will grow stronger with each step. Today, I am inviting you to step boldly into the life of obedience I have called you to live. My child, you were not created to live in hesitation or fear. You were created to walk confidently in my purpose, trusting that I am leading you and equipping you for every challenge. Let go of the doubts that hold you back, and embrace the freedom and joy that come from walking in obedience to me. You are my beloved, and in your obedience you will find peace, purpose, and my unshakable love. My beloved child, as we have journeyed together through these truths, I want you to hold tightly to the promises I have spoken over your life. Every word, every promise, and every invitation has been crafted with you in mind, to remind you of my love, strengthen your faith, and guide you toward the abundant life I have prepared for you. This is not the end of the story, it is a new beginning. Now is the time to step boldly into my promises, trusting that I am with you every step of the way. The world may still feel uncertain and challenges may still arise, but you no longer face them alone or in your own strength. My power is within you, my peace guards your heart, and my spirit is your guide. Remember my words. Have I not commanded you? Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid. Do not be discouraged, for the Lord your God will be with you wherever you go. These words are not just for the past. They are for this moment, for this next step of your journey. You may feel hesitant, wondering if you are truly ready. But hear me clearly, you are ready because I have equipped you. You are chosen, loved, and empowered to live a life of purpose and impact. My child, faith does not require you to have all the answers. It requires you to trust the one who does. Take the first step, and you will see my faithfulness unfold in ways that will leave you in awe. Let these truths become the foundation of your life. Write them down, speak them over yourself, and return to them whenever doubt tries to creep in. My word is your anchor, my love is your strength, and my promises are your assurance. Trust that I am leading you toward a future filled with hope, joy, and peace. Now I ask you, are you ready to embrace the life I have designed for you? Are you ready to walk in faith, surrender your fears, and live in the freedom of my love? This is your moment to say yes to all that I have for you. Trust that as you step forward, I am with you, guiding you into the fullness of my promises. As you move forward, stay close to me. Seek my presence daily, spend time in my word, and surround yourself with others who encourage your faith. Share what you have learned and let your life be a testimony of my goodness and grace. Trust that I will use you to bring hope and light to those who need it most. Finally, let this be your declaration. I will trust in the Lord with all my heart. I will walk in faith, live in hope, and rest in His love. My child, you are not here by accident. You are my beloved, chosen for this time and this purpose. Step boldly into the life I have called you to, and know that my promises are sure, my love is steadfast, and my presence is with you always.